All right. Good evening, good evening, good evening. How's it going this evening? This midnight Claude Code session? Great news. Claude Code finally got upgraded to the 1 million token window or context window. In general, you don't have to pay the extra usage. I think they probably saw that people weren't really going for that because API charges are so expensive and there's really no reason to do that when there's other models, comparable models, uh, like Gemini Pro, that has a very generous free tier that you could just use in place of doing the 1 million context window. So it makes a world of difference, especially for like our hacking slash decompiling purposes, because we don't have to skimp on the text files, at least most of them. We can have Opus 46 just read the entire text file or source code file instead of like a piece of it. Okay, let's get started. Let me do this. Share screen. And here. And here. And here. Okay. And we'll just do that there. All right, let's get started. So I'm in the middle of doing MVC2, what I would call the Twins Assist, sort of a mod where I can launch two two assists at the same time, or um, I did that wrong. Uh, they could be on screen at the same time. So, like, if you ever play MVC2, the default behavior is that when one assist comes out, the other cannot be on the screen until the previous is finished. This mod, which is not done, breaks that rule. So that goes from A1 to A2. You see Iceman is A1 and the Cyclops is A2. And then if you go A2 to A1, we can also do that as well. It still needs work. We can't do it while character is walking. See? Now pressing A2, yeah. We're press A2 and then A1, can't do that. But while he's standing, I can do that. All right, still a work in progress. But before we get to that, because that's kind of like the boring stuff, that's kind of like the deep dive. I want to do some Sectori. Sectori is kind of like um it's inspired by Geometry Wars, my favorite game in the world. So we're gonna do some mods. Actually, we're gonna save this to memory. I'm gonna rename this. We'll call this CC MV, MVC2 and then say Twin Assist. All right, save to memory. Uh, we'll pick this up later. Um, I'm going to on another game, so be prepared to um, reinitialize. I can spell that right, and it's not right, but that's fine. Um, Patches when we come back. Casual economist, how's it going? How's it going? How's it going? How's it going? I need a dedicated like MVC2 channel where I could just stream there like every day. Because there's so much. Oh, casual, I didn't show you the progress. So I'm working on a new mod. I'm taking a little slight break from like the AI Nightmare Mode mod. That is a lot more complex than what I thought. Good news is Anthropic released the 1 million context window for everyone. I think it's everyone today. So that actually made a change. That made a huge difference because now because even the model still don't want to read the whole text file if it's a large text file. So you have to tell it, it's okay to read the whole text file. But now I can stuff in, I don't know, 50 or 60 large text files in 1 million um, context window. And so I was working on this is the new mod. So call it Twin Assist. It's a terrible name. I'm gonna call it something else because now I actually do want to do like an actual Twin Assist mod where if you launch one assist, you can press A1 again while the first assist on there, and then the second one will also show up. Like two instances of Iceman here. But here, like the default behavior for MVC2 is one assist come out. You cannot launch a second assist at the same time, or even while the first assist on the screen, and vice versa. If A2 is on the screen, A1 cannot come on the screen until A2 is done. But this mod allows both at the same time or in tandem in some sort. Right. So now we've effectively changed the entire game because you can have both assists on the screen at the same time. Okay, taking a break from MVC2, and then we'll do compact here, so we can just write to a text file, so we can have multiple points of documentation, and then we're going to open up a new terminal here, and then we're going to go to Sectori, and let me zoom in here. But yeah, the new 1 million text context window makes a huge difference. Huge difference. So I'm gonna close out on Claude on Cheat Engine. Never mind this white box here. I tried to do something, and it kind of backfired, and it won't. It's not gonna go away until I restart the operating system. But that's okay. All right. The two assist mod is working properly too. No, I forgot to tell you. So it's working while the character is standing still, but if I walk back and forth, or if I dash, or if I jump, um, well, the assist won't come out if you super jump, but if you do like a regular jump, no, it's just default behavior. So I'm still working on that. We'll work on that after I get done with Sectori. All right. So let's go ahead and launch Sectori. I'm gonna go to our references folder here. This game is unnecessarily difficult. I love that it's difficult, but its easiest level is super difficult, like for the bosses. I already have. Let me load up the cheat table. Matter of fact, there's a couple of cheats that Claude um, created last night. We have the speed modifier for the ship, and of course we have the fire rate modifier as well. So let's go ahead and connect. Yes. No, maybe I have to open it. Hold on. I'm so used to attaching a debugger to games. I forgot. I'm probably doing this wrong. So open process. Let me do it the other way around. Instead of attaching, we'll just open it. Yes. Okay. And this, of course, is our MCP server. Let me turn this down a little bit, just a smidge. Okay, so now we have the speed multiplier and we have the fire rate multiplier. Um, I didn't know we had a boss rush. That's new. What's this? Nothing is enabled anyways. So normally what I do normally is just use cheats to get it everything. And then once I get everything and actually know how to play the game, then um, I go without cheats. So next thing we're gonna do is create like a god mode. I love the music, but I gotta turn it down. Let me turn this up and turn this down. Gotta hear myself think. All right. So speed multiplier and fire rate multiplier. We're gonna go 3 times the normal speed, and then the fire rate we're gonna go. Let's go 3 times. Well, let me show you what it looks like by default. Let me turn everything off. We'll play like a normal game because I'm not gonna last long anyways. And oh yeah, and every game is different because I think it's a roguelike sort of game. Just like in Geometry Wars, no two games are the same, but here the levels are actually look different. It's just not the variation of enemies and like their routines and stuff. Now keep in mind this is the easiest level. This isn't too bad if you're an experienced player. What is a star? Is this a normal? This isn't a campaign. Oh, okay, whatever. We'll just go with it because I lost a life. Is this survival? What is? Hold on. This is a different game mode. Classic campaign is what I'm looking for. Okay. In classic mode, your level area is static. Collect the special token. Okay, so this is kind of like the geometry mode, wars sort of mode where levels doesn't change, just your enemies. Got it. I'd probably prefer this level actually. Increase your multiplier by leaving the token uncollected. Okay, let's go into campaign. Starting decks, if they have it from the same, and they do, gambler adds the following card probabilities, pull cards. So I'm not interested in any sort of movement or shield, because we just got hacks for that. Not movement and shield, movement and like firing. Select ship, pretty much the same. I prefer purple and experience. And again, this is the easiest level. Difficulty is everything intensified for players seeking punishment. It's kind of like I guess the intermediate and experience. Um, yeah, that's the easiest level. Okay, anyways. So it doesn't really move that fast. It's okay. It's not slow poke. But you see, like the stage transforms. Not moving so fast, but it's okay. This will be a problem later on down the road. It also, if you touch the red boxes while the stage transforms, you will die instantly, no matter how many lives you have. So like those red boxes, like you got to get out of that area. Let's go with missile and then blaster. Okay, we'll choose that power up. So our current um, and I hate that they have the overlay. So right now, and I still don't know how to play this game because I'm still new to it. So on the left there, where you see where the missile is currently selected, let me go ahead and select that. That's kind of like the power ups that you select, but every time you get one of those like those blue arrows, it moves up the list. It's actually confusing, confusing kind of explaining it, but hopefully you can get it by watching. So like here, the speed is killing me. I'd rather have faster speed and 10 times the enemies than this speed here. This is killing me. Got to get out of that red area, 'cause otherwise you will die. Even if you have like 500 lives, you will die. And like the teleportation pad there, you can only use it once. And the yellow arrow give you these power ups. Got to get out of the red areas. Now you'll see how hard this boss is, unless they give me the snake in boss again, which was pretty simple. The rest of them, oh boy, got to get out of there. And if we go too long, I'll just get in a red area because I don't want to waste too much time playing on the vanilla version. Thing I do love is that once you do get the power ups, you do get a lot of firepower if you choose to. Just like here, I'm going to get another missile because it was selected. We have our snakes here. Oh, that was close. Of course, I landed on top of a teleporter. Here's the boss. Let's see what they give me this time. Yeah, this is. I kind of got stuck on this one too. Yeah. Oh, you can destroy them. Last time I couldn't destroy them. I guess you need missiles for that. I've never been a fan of bullet hell sort of games. So while this has, and I died again. I think I got what I got one life left. And so now this is where I'm like stuck because I don't move fast enough to get around. So I have to depend on a dash, and you just don't have that many dashes. Yeah, I died. Oh no, last life. So you see like the little flashing white boxes. Don't tell me I'm gonna beat the boss while people are watching. Of course, of course. I was struggling against that thing all night last night. I've parted at too many EDM concerts and race to ever be good at this game. Yeah, it takes. Let's go with Missile Blaster. Let's get another missile. Um, as you can tell, I'm heavy on the um offensive. Missiles can target blue enemy bullets. Okay. I'm still moving slow as dirt because I haven't chose speed. Let's go ahead and choose speed. And I'm dead. Okay. Fun game, challenging game. Not too crazy about the bosses. Okay. Let's go again. All right. So we loaded up into cheat engine. Let's start our cheat, speed hack, and fire rate hack. We're gonna do 3x for both. Don't tell me choose now not to. Maybe it didn't. I'm guessing it probably didn't do an array of bytes sort of mod. And no, this is an actual hack. All right. Okay, let's launch Claude Code. It didn't survive ASLR or ALSR. It's basically where if you load the game in two different times, the memory spots are going to be different for mods. And Cheat Engine goes around this by doing an AOB, which is an array of bytes sort of search. So while like specific bytes will be in different memory locations, long strings of um of memory codes, hex codes will be the same. They'll just move somewhere else. And if you can search for those long strings of arrays or long strings of bytes, then you can still make your mods. Okay. Is it quit? We'll just control C. All right, and then we will CD into this folder here. All right, so we'll recall from your memory. Then let's get started. And then we're going to change the model. We're going to keep the model the same, but we're just going to up our effort level to max. Whoops. Why did, oh, it's still processing. Never mind. Because right now you can't see it. Our, I did show it, but it was our effort was like at medium, which is where it defaults. Um, Model, and then we're going. You see where it says medium effort here? Just press one to the right for max effort. Because why would I not want maximum effort every single time? Now, why does it still say? Hold on, I forgot to press enter. Okay, and then um, cheat engine is running with the game. Our mods didn't work. My guess is that it didn't survive ALSR or ASLR. I don't remember. Um, so maybe there weren't A or B commands. It's been a long time since I've actually done any mods, but why do it myself when the bot can do it for you? Um, so yeah, it'll connect to the MCP server here. Should see connected soon. That's my fault for not catching this the first time. Did I say uh connect to CE MCP, even though I shouldn't have to say it? Maybe I was working on it. I just want to make sure so we don't waste time. There it is. All right, so MCP bridge is live. All right, now looking at the CT, the CE table actually uses game assembly notation, which should handle ASLR correctly. All right, the issue we documented before is how loading CT files doesn't wire up the AA script execution. Okay, let me inject directly into auto assemble instead. Not yet. Not yet. What did user do wrong? If he loaded the game first, selected open, and CE instead of attach, and then open CT file for future reference. I don't know what he means by actually uses game assembly. That's the actual assembly, but what does this mean? Is this like the entry point plus this VA? I've never seen. I didn't know Cheat Engine does this. I always thought array of bytes, array of bytes, array of bytes. Correct order. The problem, they open a CT file before attaching CE to the game process. The CT file, scripts reference. Okay, CE needs to be attached to the process first, so it can resolve game assembly. Without attachment, that module name means nothing. Start the games, attach the process, select the game process, click the game process icon, open, okay, and then open CT file. That's what I did. That's what I did. Um, no, let me try again just to test. Um, so to make sure it's open and not attached, right? And what I'm referring to is this piece here. open, and then there's attach there. There's no attach button. Let's point it out to him. Here, here. Yes, there is. I see both open and attach. For open is the correct one. It attaches CE to the process. Well, it's for CE's built-in debugger. Breakpoint step one. You don't need that for AA scripts. I can see Sectoria selected at the bottom. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and close Sectoria. So that means nothing is selected here because you'll see it in the title bar here. Matter of fact, let's just close out the entire thing. Cheat engine, and then we're going to run as admin. We need to run as admin to run the MCP server. And so start the game. All right. So we're not going to open. Not yet. We're going to start the game first, as we were told. At some point. There we go. All right. Start the game. CE, click the open process list. Click game process and then open. And then we were locked inside of the game screen. And so we press the window key to get out of that. That's what we want to do. And then select the game. Game is selected here, and then press open. Okay. And then we open I think the last time it asked, and then we kind of assumed that it would load it correctly. And so here, and then open. All right. And then we'll test this again. Speed hack for both. The fact that it's showing like exponential numbers means that we did something wrong. We're definitely not in the right place. But just to make sure. So our speed hack here, we're going to do 2. Fire rate is also going to be 2. And we're not moving. Yeah, this is default. Okay. Okay. So we know that does not work. So I tested with the recommended steps. And it still doesn't work. CT table, that is. And then we're going to get a screenshot here. Here and here. And then here. All right. And then they'll have to reinitialize with the MCP bridge. This is how our bot connects with Cheat Engine. their little engine bridge here. Was effectively the bot uses Lua, the Lua programming language or scripting language, to interact with Cheat Engine. The values confirm it's broken. Those addresses, uh huh. Those are not the addresses. These are. Those are the values. Instead of two, the A scripts never executed, just garbage memory. This is the same. Whether loaded. Uh huh. Let's skip CT files and inject directly via MCP. Um, right, but how can we translate that into the CT file since um, uh, those patches would need to persist across gaming sessions, of course, because I know it could do it. The problem isn't patching on the fly. The problem is um, creating the CT file that you can use without the bot. We can use it offline, completely offline without the bot. Because if you can't do it offline, then there's really no point. Because then we have our cheats are tightly coupled with, or not even tightly coupled. They're just outright dependency on the bot. And binary patches way too much. We could go that route, but that's a little heavy-handed. CT files are just, I don't know if they're actually text files, but they're so much lighter than, let's create a full on another 40 megabyte binary for these few hacks. Because sometimes you want to play without hacks. You don't want to play with hacks all the time. And sometimes you want to play with some hacks, but not all of them. So good question. Three options. CT with little script, not assembler script. Little script blocks actually execute on table load. All right. Unlike the AA checkbox approach, that's broken. Okay. Binary patcher, which I just got done telling y'all we're not going to do. DLL injection, which is another, instead of creating a full binary patch, which will be game assembly .dll, DLL injection, we will create like a third party uh, DLL file. The the XE is actually a thin wrapper for game assembly.dll because it is an assembly game. The XE calls game assembly.dll. DLL trampolines over to our DLL injected DLL, and then our DLL contains the mod code. Again, don't want to do that because it's just too many not too many, but dependencies. I don't want to have that. I just want the CT table. For what you want, CT table, adjustable persistent. Option one is the answer. Yep. Broken assembler script. Okay. All right. Want me to build that CT file and test it by MCP? Yes. But keep the same mod names in the CT file. I haven't decided for like MVC2 if I want to have binary patches. Because I just know like those mods, because now we're getting into the weeds of like patching multiple, not even multiple memory locations, but also creating code caves and stuff like that. We'll see how stable that it can be. Um, we'll see. I think Twin Assist, I want to be like a permanent mod because that doesn't take away from the game. It actually adds to the game, right? Being able to call both of your assists whenever it actually adds to the game. It creates a different game. The meta is completely different. First, let me first test the injected MCP. All right, so our client is connected here. Let me verify the multiplier values are correct. Let me write the file, which is here. It'll change this. Let's minimize that. And so now I would presume it's using Lua. The double A injection is already live. Didn't you say? Now let me write the CT file. Lua script instead of assembly script. The double A injection is already live. Try in game now. What does double A mean? Because you said you were using Lua script, and this is just for my sort of understanding, instead of assembler script, which I didn't know even existed before the session. Text attach file hacks auto inject unload. Um, auto assembler. Okay, distinction here is where auto assembler at XML. CE tries to check the calls from Lua script. Okay. So the game is already start game already loaded. Do I need to reload the game and cheat NCT? No, the MCP auto symbol call that you already injected the hacks into the game. They're already live right now. 2x speed and 2x fire. Okay. So even though it's saying that it's already now, we may not be able to see it here, but let's see. Okay, so this is the speed, what I'm talking about. So we do have 2 times speed and we do have 2 times fire rate. And so now our fire rate is now 4 times, since that little blue power up gives us temporarily gives us doubles our speed and our movement. Oh, almost died. Almost died again. Strike. I don't know what strike is. But you see how, like, when you hit those blue boxes, the little blue bar moves up. I'll probably never ever choose score. I'm really look at like shield and not shield, strike and missile because it is offensive based, and that's a bomb. So now the next test is, now that we know we got that mod working. Um, I'm gonna ask if we can save, because then we're gonna restart the game and then test the CT file to make sure our mods persist. Because if it doesn't persist, then injection of code is moot. Because who cares if, I mean, injection of code is really only good to like test if a mod works, not if you want it to persist. And I lost a life. Striker, and we'll go with exotic here. Laser drone. This is a new one. So we're still at 2x. It's a lot of traffic around here. Sheesh. Now imagine playing this at the default firing rate and movement. It's not impossible, but it's just like, sheesh. Okay. Yes, and yes. And we're gonna choose blaster and then danger zone. Okay. So the little yellow octagon there um, is a kind of like a bomb, kind of like a free bomb you get. So now I'm waiting to get my blue bar up to like the missile portions because missiles are really good, really good. Mods on with mods or without doesn't matter. Damn snakes are in the way. They're more annoying than Geometry Wars snakes. Jeez. And then now we have our missiles, and we're at the boss. What we got this time? We get a new boss every game. Not a new boss, but you get a specified sort of collection or from a group of bosses. Like oh my god. The problem I have with this, I don't know when the laser is active. Well, I guess it shows. And now I just have to concentrate on moving. These are like bullet hell sort of concepts. Now I gotta make my way over there. Am I dead? Ugh, that was really close. Did we beat him? Why are the bosses being okay? This is the second part. All right, it's not. We're not done. And then now we got more bullet hell stuff, bullet hell concepts that I absolutely hate. So I can't concentrate on firing because I have to concentrate on moving inch by inch. And no, you cannot shoot these down. I wish you could. Ugh, I hate bullet hell. Japanese loves them though. All right, are we done? Okay, good. That boss was annoying. All right, so now we're in level two. First strike, a strike shockwave fire 6 projectiles per shock level. Strike level. Drones. I have the following cars: drone X, drone Y. Let's go with drones. Your new blaster drone, sure. So now we got some pretty good bullets here. This I like. I'll take 10 times the enemies with this firing versus slow mo mode that we get in default. So once we establish like our workflow, a working workflow, then we can start figuring out like new mods and stuff like that. Tokens float towards you. Get a new blaster drone. Yeah, I missed the letter there. And we're on strike. And we can only use the teleporter once. It's not an infinite sort of thing. I probably change that too, because why? It's just game decisions I just don't like. I think probably because sometimes like the creators of Geometry Wars added things that was unnecessary just to make things difficult. Kind of like we don't want you to win. So we're gonna add in like this unnecessary difficulty here. God damn it. Get me out of there. Remember, you can't stand on those red spots while when they initialize. Otherwise, you will die. It's automatic death. Ray strike upgrade, attack stack, applying a stack upgrade. Starts a laser show. Okay, whatever that means. So we are at, okay. Let's fire a bullet from the rear. Oh, they come to me. Oh yeah, I got that perk. I forgot about that. And so now we're at score. Also, the little yellow triangles don't come to me like the circles do. That's annoying. I don't like enemies being yellow and our power-ups being yellow. That I don't like. Do not like that at all. That's just shield, and now we're at missiles. So more missiles. Ooh, I almost see. This is why I don't like the bad guys being yellow. I ran up to it thinking that it was a power-up. Okay. Not really a fan of using the teleporters unless I absolutely have to. See, we're currently on the score. Um, Power up, Strike Master. Okay, that's a bomb. Yep, dead. Cannot be on. And that actually came out fast. That came out fast. All right. So now that we know those work, do I save the CT file now? No need. I already wrote it to disk. See, go test the hacks in game. Okay, okay, okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Um, reverts uh to default. Um, bytes, no mods. Yeah, I'm going to test CT file now. Okay, and then we're gonna close Sectori. Gonna close cheat engine. Uh-oh, what were you trying to do here? Oh, I probably, yeah, I closed it before it could. I said it, write it, and then I closed it. That's okay. Um, then let's open the game. Once we get this down, then we can start making new mods. Then we have a working workflow. All right, and then what do you say? Put it mods CT. Okay, here and then here, and there it is right there. Okay, and then cheat engine. As admin because you need it for the MCP server, and then open. No, and we're gonna open. You see how it asks you that automatically? No, make me look for it. Then we're gonna do that one. Uh, when the table has a Lua script, execute it. Um, Here's my thing. Only when sign, else ask, always ask. My yeah, I'm gonna say always. And so now we pretty much know it did work because look at our values. And we'll select all three. Let's go with a speed modifier of 3 and a fire rate of 5, which is crazy, but let's see. Just want to make sure. Now we're talking. Now we have a working solution. Yes, that's 10x. Got to be careful to not run into things because I am moving relatively fast, even though this is flat out. Now we got missiles. Now we're talking. The hardest part about this mod is not running into stuff. I do want to find like the enemy spawn algorithm. I just say let's spawn it like 10 times. Let's spawn is the enemies to match the fire rate. Let's go with missile, more missiles. We're going for more missiles after this too. More missiles. This is Snake. This is the first boss I beat. Yeah, I could shoot those down. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. Yep, yep, yep. 2 additional missiles, of course. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness. Now watch, even with these hacks, there's gonna be a point in the games like, nope, access denied, you die. The challenge is gonna be movement, like not stepping on stuff. Missiles can target blue enemy bullets. Okay. More missiles. I don't mind. Thank you. I'm dead. because as the game goes on, those red spots start to spawn or they activate faster. And even though I didn't lose a life the entire game, you instantly die. All right. I like that, but I hate it. Okay. So that was fun. All right. So let's create a God mode. A God mode. Yeah, God mode mod. All right. So we now have a working workflow. Save to your memory. Because the last thing we want to do is go through this process again. And it's gonna be a while before we get to like my text file export because that's a pre-hook for a pre-compact uh compact conversation hook where it saves a copy of the entire conversation to a text file. But we are on 1 million contexts, so it's going to be a while. We're not doing anything like super serious. I plan to, so it's going to be a minute before we get to 100% here. I was, and to illustrate, like for MVC2 last night, I was, we were coding and hacking for like 4 hours, and I'm only 68%. 68%. That's insane. So, and that's after loading all those text files and decode composition files. And I think it created like 300 and something files for that twin assist mod. Yeah, 5x is awesome until it becomes a norm, our new norm, and then we start complaining about that. All right, so um, auto injected, blah blah blah. Okay, all right. So let's now create a God mode hack. Now I did decompile most of this game, so the workflow. Why is it kicking this off? Doesn't need that. So yeah, since we decompiled most of the game, it doesn't. We don't need to do like kind of like a uh the the search initialization and then next search, next search, next search. We don't have to do it that way. It'll just look through the code and kind of do its own thing from there. Kind of simplifies the process by quite a bit, or at least we think so. That was fun. What is that? 5x, 5x. Yeah, 5x fire rate and 3x movement. I think I prefer 2x movement. Whoops. So this is float, and this is going to be 2. And of course, they have to work with other hacks. So right now, it's searching for in the decompiled code. Since this is a Unity application, it is .NET, C# specifically, and so it's going to look through the .NET code for its answer. I think I want to play while it's searching. Let's move you on up here. All right, we'll play while it's searching. Yeah, we're going to be creating a lot more complex mods, hopefully. Okay, and 2x is so much more manageable than 3x. Hmm, yeah, up to strike. I don't really use strike all that much. Strike is kind of like the dash. It gives you invincibility frames while you do kind of like a dash that you could kind of like charge to things. Scratch my face here. What should God mode mean? No damage at all. There, that is a good distinction because there is a difference. Permanent invulnerability, selective player only. Um, they'd also be invincible. Permanent invulnerability. Game already has an invulnerability system, so visuals feedback should work. Let's go with option B. Let's test option B. And that doesn't work then. What is this game called? This is Sectori. This is Sekori. Sekori. I think, you know, I'd probably change. You know what? No, I'm not gonna touch that. Like the red square or the red spots means insta death. Um, I don't know yet. We'll see. Exotic, laser drone. Okay, okay, okay. And then blaster when a shield is not active. Yeah. Oh, got to be quick. I know they move faster in the later rounds. Almost there. And there we are with the missiles. Okay. Whoops. Oh, are we already there with the invulnerability? And does that apply to the red squares? Because I think I an enemy stunk kind of like hit me and I didn't nothing happened. But we'll see. Shield. Don't want it. And missiles. More missiles for me, please. And thank you. Snake again. All right. Snap. Oh my god. He directly got in my way. Where is the other? Oh, there's one more. Didn't see him. Now I can't shoot down the blue bullets because that's I think one of the perks of the missiles. All right. Yeah, he did patch it. All right. So good. CE is connected. Test. Patch. Test in game now. Should be invulnerable. Does this player take damage? Should not. Can you still kill enemies? If not, they're also invulnerable. Blah blah blah. Okay. Where is the other? This is a bug. I'm fairly certain it's a bug because the other cheat table window is gone. And I have to close like that little window to get there. Um, did you list the hack in the CT? 'Cause I can't see. So let's close this. And that brings that up. And no, you didn't. I don't know if we're see now I don't know if we're disconnected or not. That's a bug though. That's fine. Maybe. It's annoying. But I can't see both at the same time while the game is running. Matter of fact, let me put you over here. No, I just did a raw test. Let me revert and redo. Nope, 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 nope. Not yet. I gotta test it first. That's my fault. Should have tested before making it permanent. What happened to the music? Okay. Tokens flow towards you fast. Okay. Of course. Um, let me stop firing. No, I'm not invulnerable. Let me see if I can lose. I'm on my last life. Nope. I am not invulnerable. Um, died. Doesn't work. That's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to get it the first time. That's what I meant to say, but it will eventually get there. Oh, so okay. So now the enemies are invulnerable. You see how I'm shooting them and I can't shoot them? I can't kill them. I can die. And okay, so now I'm invulnerable. So now both of us are. None of us could die. Neither one of us could die now. All right. Invulnerable. Let me stop being concerned about spelling. Yeah. Screen is just gonna fill up and the game is gonna crash because it's gonna be too many enemies. I'm guessing the bomb mode doesn't work either. We haven't got one of those because I haven't killed any enemies. We'll just wait for it to fix it. I do like that I can't just. What the heck? There's so many enemies. That's a bug. Why are we stuck? I think the bridge is gone. Let me do this. Let me reset the connection to the MCP server. So now we got this bug again where that's fine though. Oh, I can't move at all. All right, we'll quit out of that. Why are we stuck? So I could lose lives until I get to my last life, then I won't die. Yep. Use a God mode flag in the table. Simple mini trainers work display. Apply damage signal to find hook higher up where we have access to damage category. Skip damage only when the source is enemy. Nothing takes damage? No. Let's go with B. Because that doesn't make sense to put it in a cheat table and when I flip it on, nothing could be killed. That doesn't make sense at all. It didn't revert it yet. I wonder if there's like a pacifism mode. What I do like is that you can move enemies without shooting at them. Rainbow Bridge. Okay. That doesn't work either, which puts me outside of the game. This gives me ideas. I can go back in there, but I can't get out of it. Okay. I like that to be one of the hacks. We could just go outside of the box. All right. Come on. Do I need to restart this game? Only one call to do damage. Inside applied single. I can see do lethal damage called right after. I guess that would be something like the one hit. Replace both call instructions with calls to caves that check the source category. Yeah, we'll just restart. Gives us the chance to test out the um the uh the cheat table here. Yay! I like 5x. Oh, there's God mode. He just got around to it. Should not take damage from enemies. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Okay. Let's test. We won't touch a thing. One life, last life, and we're dead. Nope. Good news is the other hacks still work though. I did say I prefer 2x, not 3x, in terms of movement. Let me restore and re-inject cleanly. All right. And he did it again. Last life, and I could still die. Nope. Are invulnerable. Then again, I didn't have it turned on, so let me not speak too soon. Let's go again. Two lives, one life, last life, and I'm dead. Okay. And just to make sure that they're invulnerable and I am not. Yeah. So if I turn that off, does it go back to normal? No, they do not. Okay, now they back to normal. Okay. Which one is this? Oh, this is nonsense again. Is that it? Last phase? Okay. So let's see here. Maybe this. Let's try this one. Blaster. Apply stock upgrade. All right. Oh, let me test the God mode first. Okay. Okay, so now we have a working solution for God mode. Good. Good, good, good. So I think I probably got maxed out the missiles. What if there isn't no max out? Right? Maybe that's another mod idea. Oh, that pushes me back. Okay, I didn't see that before. Nope, can't spend it. No longer available. I could still die from insta death. You know what? I don't mind that. I don't mind that. Let's see. Delete this record. And then we'll rename this. Change record. Okay. Can still die from red blocks. Okay. And then we'll save here. All right. And just to make sure they persist, we're going to close, open Sectoria again. All right. Then we're going to select game. Opening this little monitor here. Game selected, open. Um, yeah. No, see, that doesn't. Let's reload it. No, I don't. There we go. Yeah, so we just can't use the auto ask, I guess. That's odd. Okay, so works, but can still die to red blocks that cause insta death. That's fine, but when I restarted or reloaded, now I cannot. Um, could it be? Let me try something here. So these two work, but not the God mode. Interesting. Let me try in game because it could be one of those things where you have to be in game to kind of like start. All right, let's pause. Nope. Okay, while it works on that, scooch on over there. All right. Says it's done. Nope. On next load, attach to CT, all three hacks, table entries. Okay, let's test it. And then we'll restart the game again. We'll wait for it to launch. Okay. And then here, open. No. And then we'll open up our cheat table again. Hacks injected successfully. Okay. Not complaining, but never seen this before. It's if it works and if it's consistent, then that's fine. Whatever. Because honestly, I don't really care. Instead of like the manual way. Then again, maybe like when people do like the AOB search string, it'll show up here anyways. But it's just the Lua engine window is just hidden. I don't know. Matter of fact, let's go with Boss Rush. Let's go with Generation 5. Oh, it's locked. All right. Hold on. Let me see here. Three and five. Okay, we'll move you on over here. Uh-oh. And it crashed. Okay. Let's go again. I was like, wait a minute. Why is it doing that? Let's go again. Let's find out what is going on. Select game, open. No, we will not. We will select the our cheats again. This time we're gonna leave God mode off. Boss rush. And then it crashed again. All right. So we know it's not that. Let's go again. Maybe this is a boss. Why can't I speak today? Boss rush. Boss? Bosch? Boss rush. All right. So here, open. No. Reopen cheat table. We'll leave Boss Rush alone for now. Let's just make sure this works in campaign. Nope. 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 That crashes it. Okay, let's go again. This is what I was talking about. Speaking of devil, where it's like you injecting all these bytes when the game loads, it may not work. Okay. Keep the current address. No. It could be a thing. Actually, no. Let's keep that off. Let's keep them all off. And we're gonna test to see if like this where is the Lua engine window? Actually, let's close cheat engine and then let's reopen it. Because that could have been the problem. Could be some leftover bytes or whatever. I'm I'm debugging itself. Okay. Okay. Now we try all of them. Let's go again. The moment I start firing, it dies. It crashes. Okay. One more time. This time we're gonna do it without hacks at all. Because we can pretty much guess that the culprit is the God mode hack. Or maybe it's not a God mode hack, maybe it's too many Too many injected hacks, or I don't know. We'll see. All right, here, open. No. Open cheat table from scratch. No hacks whatsoever. Yep. Okay. So, um, just to make sure it's nothing with the game related by itself, we're going to test it without it being attached to anything at all. Okay. So now we know for certain that it is cheat engine. Okay. So the game crashes the moment it starts. It doesn't crash when the moment starts. The game crashes the moment I start putting in any input. But we don't need to investigate that any further because this is, I don't know if the hacks are injected or whatever, but yeah. The game crashes the moment it starts, meaning it may be too many injected hacks. Game runs fine without any. Game still crashes when God mode is off. Um, yeah, that'll be my guess. Hmm. So then we have to find another way of. Why can't we just do like an AOB search? Why can't it just do that? Why does or why do we have to inject code? Why not an AOB search? Since we know, probably know, that they're safe. The problem when attaching to or opening in a debugger and injecting those bytes is that they're injected when game is loaded into the debugger, huh, not manipulated while the game is already running. Or rather, they're injected the moment the debugger is attached to the game, not when one at a time or anything. We're injecting all three of the codes at the same time. Many ways of going about doing this. Let me reread this to tell you to check if the AA script is intact after the edits. I did attach. Yes. No. Did it crash? I don't remember. I think I may have just closed it. Okay. And open. No. And here. There we go. So now it's gonna crash if we try to play the game now, whether these are turned on or not. You're right. AOB is better. It validates the bytes exist before patching. Matter of fact, hold on. Let me make a backup of this file just in case, because we know before we um inserted the God mode hack that it was working just fine. It validates the bytes exist before patching won't corrupt random memory. So I'm wrong. The get crash is likely from blindly writing to when something about the address isn't what we expect. Let me rebuild the CT. For all hooks, I need to verify the patterns are unique first. And then after this, I think we'll go back to MVC2. Oh, it's asking me. I need to verify the patterns are unique first. Is the game running? Game is running and attached. Wait, the bytes are there's already jump. The function might be a thunk. Let me disassemble to understand. All right. And I see that everything that we've done up to this point, we're only at 38% in our context window. Normally that would put us at like 70 or 80%. Come on. Remember what I was telling you about trampolines before and code caves? The trampoline is just basically once it hit a trampoline, it bounces to somewhere else in code, like a whole nother section. And then your code cave is spaces in memory where you can insert code and it won't hurt like your memory alignment. Come on. Let me hook the prologue inside the trampoline instead. Testing by MCP first. Okay. It created another entry. The hook is at a real prologue location inside the game's runtime and not the hard-coded RVA between sessions. Testing how it works. I'll update the CT file. All right. And we're just going to do all three because it has to work with all of them. Otherwise, we have a problem. And we will change this from fire rate is 5, movement is 2, and then God mode switches on. All right, let's go. Nope, still crashes. Still crashes. But I will retest to make sure. I didn't save it. Should have saved it first. Is it still in memory? Okay, so it's still here. It might as well because we already saved it with God mode on there. Okay. Let's go again. Few things consider. Is this MCP injection I did or the CT file? When you retest, target game fresh attach CE, and now eject the MCP. Don't load any. That way we isolate whether the issue was the hook itself or the CT file. Okay. Yeah, that's a good test. And then we'll connect here and then open. Nope. So we won't load the CE file like you said. All right. We'll see if he just loads in God mode or all of them on fresh load. The trampoline I saw earlier was from a previous CT injection at the game. Correct that for all. Let me inject God mode directly into a fresh process. God mode inject on clean process. Okay. Okay, so God mode works. Okay, cool. Is it speed? Yeah, other two hacks. They were also injected as CTE file load. Okay, so now he's patching manually. Once we get this down, then we can get to the more interesting. We got the God mode. All right. So now that we got those working, the crash was likely because the CPU used a single alloc for all hacks, including God mode. The God mode cave may have collided with the speed fire rate. I'll split them into separate allocations. Okay, let's do it. I'll restart the game and retest. So we have to do this after every hack. Oh, he already added it. Never mind. This is on the other page. I didn't see it. Was in a single alloc and single auto symbol call. The MCP tests use separate allocations with split injections to clean up the duplicate God mode entry. Okay. And again, when all this is going to be documented, it's two updates, two separate. Okay, two separate error handling if God mode fails, speed fire rate still works. Remove duplicate God. Huh? Okay. All right, and then we'll save this. We'll save this over that. We have the old one just in case. Let's restart the game. Get rid of the on the fly modifications or the in memory modifications. and then we'll just depend on the cheat table. We'll wait for it to load first, and then load here. Game selected, open. No, we want to load the cheat table ourselves here, and then we're going to select all three. I'm going to have it these nested because that's just for organization purposes. And then fire rate is going to be 5x. All right, let's go. And it crashed again. Stop vibrating. All right. I did save over it. I did save over it, and then okay. I did save the CT again, so it may have saved over your edits. Check that. Ran the game again, and it crashed as it did before on game start. Not app start, but when I chose a game, or yeah, when I chose a mode and started the game. Um, check CT. Uh, again for previous errors. Maybe a little wordy, but we'll see. So all the hacks work is just how we going to allocate or how we're going to implement the hacks. So we look in our log. It did the same thing. It injected all the hacks at the same time, which we did not want to do. This was from the 3 times that we tested it from before. Can we clear this? No, we cannot. No, we cannot. And yeah, we can actually. Gotta get it right. Learned a little bit about cheat table as well. CE overwrote my split back into a single. Okay, that's the crash caused the MCP test. That worked used 2 separate collisions. Okay. Yep. Yep. CT rewritten with 2 separate symbols, exactly matching MCP test. Restart game. All right. Don't save it from. All right. So which CT? So this up here will show Sectori X. That was my mistake because I should have saved it as a different file. That's fine though. I was moving too fast. Moving too fast. Okay. Open. No, we don't. All right. See that. and we're gonna do a playthrough until we get bored, maybe, because I want to make sure that this is gonna persist throughout the entire game and not crash later on. Okay, so those work, and God mode now works. Okay, cool. And then we can still kill the villains. Good. Good, good, good. So now also that's just a future reference for us about how things get allocated and using code caves and alloc functions. You want to study your, of course, when you are chatting with a bot, you want to study your documentation as well, just so you don't end up in your next mod or your next game. You don't make the same mistakes twice. Both of you have to learn. You don't have to. I mean, you could keep making the same mistakes over and over and over, and then the bot forgives you because it's not going to get upset with you. But still, you don't want to waste context, API tokens, context windows, stuff like that. Just bad practice. I should have tested if I could still dot to red blocks. Probably. Let's test. Yep, we can still dot to red blocks. Good, good, good. Um, can we nest? Add to new group, and then we'll say like we'll call these speed hacks. No, no, we'll put you here. We'll put you here, and if we turn these off, I guess, but I don't know. How do I do this? So I added a new group called. Let me save this first, just in case. We're gonna save this as a different file. Um, Sectory hacks, and we'll call this group test called speed hacks. But I want the speed hacks visible only when the parent checkbox group is checked. Decimal hidden children option under group header. Done. Speed hacks is the new group header. Okay. Let's reopen it. No, there it is. So we do create header. Drop down selection options. Yeah, I'll let the bot take care of that. I don't want to deal with that at all. Let the bot handle it. Okay, yes, and then yes. Um, and then we'll rename this. Can still die to red boxes. Insta death. Okay. All right. Let's just do a playthrough to the end, and then we'll call it a night because I am tired. We'll turn this all the way up. Whoops. Is this a no one? No, it's not. Drones it is. Don't know what a rainbow does. What? How did I die? That was crazy. Don't know how I died there, but okay. Let's just double check. What? How am I dying? That's crazy because it's not a red square. I'm dying to something else. Maybe it's something that replicates it. I don't know. I don't know. All right, guys. We're gonna end it here. We'll do some more mods tomorrow. MVC time, MVC two next time. You all have a good night.